Hello everyone. Hi Peterson, how are you?
Hi, Damien. How are you? I'm doing
I'm
well
good.
over here.
Yeah, all good, all well. Always excited to hear hear all the guests insights on AI, especially in your expertise. The first time we'll talk deeply in us project management. So very excited. It's just the two of us today. So I'm handling the house. Mohammed, who here normally couldn't join for today, but it's fine. That's the part of being partners. We replace each other. So it will be just the talk
That's right.
together, but it will be fun. Yeah. So we have this time
Fun.
together to talk about AI and project management. So what I'll do, I'll introduce you to our audience very quickly, and then you can give more insights about you if you want to add on some stuff, some what I tell. So you Peterson, so you're an experienced construction project manager, and you're also an emerging voice in AI-driven construction project leadership. You have a background in commercial construction, cost control, sustainable building, and also pre-construction. You have been part of complex projects across major firms, including Suffolk Construction and Chapman Construction Design. So your leadership mindset, multilingual communication, and passion for learning brings you a practical and people-centered perspective on how AI transforms the future of project management. That's what we're going to be happy to look for, and from planning, safety to efficiency and impact. So that's what I know about you, Peterson. If you want to add some stuff for to audience to know more about you, you're welcome.
All right. Thank you, Damien, for such a great introduction. I really appreciate the opportunity, and I really think I should congratulate you guys on, everything you're doing from the great speaker lineup that you have had previously on this channel. I really appreciate the opportunity to join you and discuss what's possible. That's how I can summarize it in a few words. I am excited about the future. It's a great time to be alive,
Yeah.
given the advancements in technology, especially in AI. Uh, my goal is to participate and contribute to a better world through project management as a professional. Uh, Whether that means doing it in construction, which I have done over the past 10 plus years, or helping out uh, locally in the community. That's how I can contribute to a better world. Um, I'm not gonna, dwell too much on talking about myself because we have a very exciting topic ahead that we need to tackle. That's in summary, what I do.
Yeah, great. So that's why we wanted you in. Thanks for saying all the good stuff. And yes, we had amazing guests before and talks and topics. It's always exciting. You said it. We're in a exciting new era in the business world, the AI tech business world. That's why we're focused on these kind of topics. So and that's why we want like inputs in different kind of industries, but also and also roles that you have. So your role, that's where it's very exciting because your role in project management, I always see we use it, but we wanted your input because and especially in your industry. So how do you just to start, like one of the first things to ask is like, how do you see the AI transformation in the project management landscape in your field, like in construction and built environments sectors? How do you see it?
Oh, AI is poised to change the industry in very radical ways. But before I get to that, I'd like to
Yeah.
address the elephant in the room. Uh, the construction industry is really reluctant to embrace change.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have to say that upfront. And to be honest with you, I don't hear a lot of people talking about the reason why we're not embracing AI. Think about it. When someone invented the plow, I don't know how many years ago, no
Yeah.
one complained that the plow is going to replace men in agriculture.
Right.
I would imagine that's what happened at the time, right? Similarly, in the construction industry, when we had the possibility of drawing with computers, no one said, hey, computers are going to replace us, right? Because it became apparent to us that using CAD would bring much more productivity in the industry. So what I want to address now is that people are reluctant to embrace AI because they think AI is going to replace them. And given the trend, the industries, the culture in the industry, right? People are reluctant to change because in construction, any change, any decision you take to make change for anything, whatever it is, however small it is, there's a cost associated to that, which is also true for any other industry. But in construction, it's so tangible that you move a drywall over here and you replace the studs over there. It costs something, right? And people tend to rely more on their personal experiences than technology. That's the industry.
Yeah,
That's the tendency.
Yeah, and also that you're right, because there's some industry that are more tech enthusiasts, like more early adopters on some technology, even in digital transformation. You said it, like even the digital transformation, it touched the construction industry very with, like you said, like with the tool CAD, just to do the drawings. You know it better than me, and how to use it. So that transferred the industry a lot, but it's still I would say, an old industry, like, and very pragmatic, very hands-on also, because overall it's not all technology, the construction. There's people on ground that are basically doing.
That's right.
But I think, yeah, you're right. It's an industry where you have the technological adoption takes a time. So that's where I think your job comes in, to internally start to how you're going to be able to use and show people how to use AI. And I think, but the good thing in the construction industry, I think it's like, for sure, AI will not replace everyone in the construction, because we'll still need the hands to build the stuffs also. But at least if you can gain some time in for example, you and your work in project, like in the project management, I think that's a key element here. So yeah, thanks a lot for your like landscape and knowing more this industry. It gives a lot of value. So if we dig a little bit like deeper in like some specific tasks, how do you see like planning and scheduling? Because I think this is a major not bottleneck, but something to respect, the planning and the schedule. Because I think if you're one day ahead in construction, it costs you a lot in your industry. So how do you see AI helps on this part, on the planning and scheduling on your daily task?
So that's a great segue to talk about how AI is going to impact the industry. In construction in general, the earlier you can catch risks or any potential deviation that can occur in the schedule, the better it is. As the saying goes, a penny saved is a penny earned, right? And the more you can catch these trends earlier in the process, the better it is, because it's much more difficult to implement change in the execution phase than it would be in the planning phase. Think about a construction project as a product that you have to deliver, right? I'm going to try to simulate that to a product development, like a software development, right? It's a product you're going to deliver, whether it's a bridge, a road, a building, an airport, a school. You have to deliver the product. But there are certain requirements that are set before the execution phase. A project has a life cycle. The life cycle of the project starts with the initiation phase, that the owner decides, hey, I want a stadium. But in his mind, he has a vision of what the stadium should look like. He contacts the architect who plans for the building. And sometimes you get lucky as a GC who's going to execute the work. You get involved early, depending on the delivery type of the project. Other times you're not that lucky. You have to handle, like, execute with the cards you dealt with. So you have no choice. And that's where AI's contribution is going to be very, very important, because AI is going to be able to help us plan better. The fact that the owners know that the technology is out there, they are going to require greater level of development in the drawings from the architects, right? They are going to require better planning for the construction. And in the initiating and the planning phase, that's when the pre-construction process happens for a GC. So being able to plan ahead of time of, like, say, for example, what can happen during the installation of the curtain wall, right?
Yeah. All these
What are
scenarios,
the
like,
trends?
yeah.
Exactly.
And the data you had
Construction.
on this kind of things, you'll be able to
Yes.
predict. Well, that's one of my question later, but yeah, you'll be able to predict better. So enhance this planning phase, be more accurate. So
Yep. So
this
construction is scenario based. That's why, older, more well-rounded people in the industry, they tend to rely a lot more on their experience, because they've seen it before. And they can say, hey, based on my experience, here's what we did in the past, and here's what I think we should do now. But AI is a game changer, because AI is better than human at handling data and discovering trends, right? And any construction company has
faster also, like, it's centralized and it's
exactly
faster, more efficient.
Any construction company, they have a vast array of data, historical data, that they can train the AI model with. And that, scenario that the project manager was trying to play in his head, right? The AI can do that now. And it allows for faster planning, and consequently diminishes the time, diminishes the cost, reduce the cost considerably.
A lot. That's a very, and I'm jumping because you're starting to say, like, in construction, there's a lot of stakeholders involved. You talk about architecture. You talked, that's what you were starting. So how do you think also it can help in this collaboration? Like, we know right now in the digital transformation, we're using a lot of tools, like, I don't know, not to name them, but you had like the Asana, Trello, ClickUp, whatever. I don't know what you use in construction, but that's what we use in tech for collaboration. But I think you have a lot of stakeholders. How do you see the AI help in that field?
I'm glad you mentioned that, because construction can feel like a moving target. Project management in construction, like any project, it can feel like a moving target at any given time. Right? Why? Because you have so many people involved. The people factor is very high, and the stakeholders are varied. You have the owner, the architect, the project manager, the GC, the subcontractors,
the frontliners,
everyone else in between, right? The vendors, the suppliers, the community. That's a lot to handle. So AI can help with communication in so many ways. Think about how AI is changing customer service right now.
That's
right. It's the same. The same process can happen in construction. You can use the same tools, stack the trends, right? Stack the trends and customize it for construction. make it easy for people to, talk to a chatbot or an AI
Yeah,
agent, right?
yeah,
And, leverage large language models to make it, feel natural to people to just type a
yeah.
question
That's what
in
we.
the chat
Yeah, yeah. We
and
had
get
that
an
like
answer.
this. Yeah, exactly. Oh, I didn't. It's very interesting because we have this solution in at Cogya, like with this multi agents, like with privacy of the data, that you can talk with a specific agent with a specific knowledge, and you can give it to stakeholders to use it, different stakeholders and whatever, and invite
Exactly.
people from external talk about like this topic, because the architecture will need different answers and data that the, I don't know, the one of the electricity supplier, which he will not need everything. So that's where AI, I think, starts to be interesting. That's what we do. Like we segment the data so that like these informations, and you'll just have a conversation, like a chat, an agent that will talk with the architect that will give the answer. So for you as project manager, you have to deal, I think, less with like back and forth emails on some stuff. Will
Yep.
make you, for
Yep.
you, like Peterson, more efficient time on to plan
Yep.
and focus
Yep.
on your work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm glad you mentioned privacy because people are reluctant to embrace either task automation or uh, you know adding AI agents to their process, to the operation of their business, because they think that this is going to infringe on privacy. You mean to tell me that you are not going to trust the company that provides the email address to your employees, which is way more sensitive than
Yeah, some
a
some
chatbot,
information.
that if the proper measures are in place to
Yeah, yeah,
prevent data breach, and okay, way more sensitive. And that same company is telling you they are adding a feature that is going to make your life better, like in your Outlook, for example, you can just talk to the AI and it tells you,
yeah,
hey, here's what so and so asked as a question. Uh, you get that a lot in construction. You have subcontractors reaching out to you as a PM, asking questions about the
yeah.
specifications, which you would expect that, hey, they would read the specs,
No, no,
but
in reality,
there's a
yeah,
lot
yeah,
there's a lot going on. They have a lot of jobs to handle, and they
yeah,
come
yeah.
across at some point they come across something that rise up, a question rose up, and they reach out to you saying, what does that mean? What should I do? What
Yeah,
if they
and
had
for you
the
as project
option?
manager, it's not, it's really like not a hustle, but it's something to reply. It doesn't give very high value, but the client, or the supplier, needs that answer, which now
They
the
need
AI
it.
could reply. But for
Yeah.
you, replying to it, it's not where your core of your job. That's not your highest value. Just to reply to the technical specification, the AI will do it better, faster, so you can focus on higher value task, I think. So that's yeah, yeah, you're right. Very interesting. Like
Yeah.
to compare it to the customer experience. Yeah. To collaborate. To collaborate.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Think about it. It frees up time for everyone. It frees up time for you as the PM. It also frees
Yeah.
up time for the contractor who would have to send an email or call you, leave a voicemail, and then wait for the answer. And think about it. Someone is out there on the job site waiting for the answer to come back,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And
Or
the
depending
delay.
on the
Yeah. And you
Yes,
can have it
yes, depending
immediately
on the
now. You can.
phase.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, depending on the phase of the project, it could be that, oh, they want to secure better pricing for a material, right?
Yeah.
But they don't have that answer and they can decide. And being able to get that, information feedback loop in construction is very, very, very
Yeah.
important.
Yeah. Yeah.
And with instant real-time data, it it's a game changer, and that's what I'm
Definitely.
excited
Yeah,
about.
yeah, yeah, that's cool. But it was really relevant, like to compare, because I didn't see it at start, like to compare customer experience and knew how to handle yeah, this collaboration part. But you did like the examples to match it, and it's very smart. And now I really like get it in the value of agent, like so, like these kind of things you were saying. They might, the construction area might be like careful or scared to start using it, but like implementing these kind of things, it's not so hard. It doesn't disrupt everything. It's small wins that you can implement, and to show the construction field, okay, use it and implement it. It's not right now the technology doing that, it's not crazy, I would say, but the impact is so huge. So that's why yeah, we need to implement this kind of little
Uh,
things to start and to show the value. And uh how do you think it helps also for you, like, or for the whole construction companies to identify the risk of the project, like in early stage, like if you have data as, like for doing, as you were saying, a bridge or XYZ, how do you like this risk management? Can it handle it, or it's a little bit soon?
oh, absolutely. AI is I'm so excited about what's ahead in the industry that
Yeah, yeah.
uh, it it's unbelievable. Risk management in construction is done uh, for for like for many reasons, right? Uh, you identify the risk early in the process so that you can have
Yeah,
mitigation plan, right? And from the severity of the risk, you determine what's the contingency plan for, you have a risk register that has, say, 500 potential risks for a complex project, right? And you identify the risks, you identify the mitigation strategy for each one of them. And in the end, you're able to say, here's how much money I need to
yeah,
have as a buffer, as a safety net, whatever you want to call it, uh, in the budget to make sure that if any of these risks, if any of them, they become like real in the future, in the execution phase, we have money
yeah,
to address the issue that may
yeah, to
arise,
address, not
right?
to use all the
Or,
budget. Yeah. And
yeah,
this is a task that was like manually, like without AI. Is it something that took a lot of time, or can you save a lot of time measuring that?
absolutely. You can save a lot of time. Again, going back to what I said earlier about having historical data, projects vary in sizes and they're all unique. We know that. But there are certain things that always happen in a ground up project, for example, right? You need electricity, you need plumbing, you need HVAC, right?
Yeah,
Uh, the data is there, and you can use that to train the model
yeah,
depending on the size of the project, the type of the project. You know what risks are very likely you're going to have for that type of project. And if you have a model that is trained, think about it. GPT is pre-trained, right? Pre-trained.
yeah,
It's a pre-trained transformer. It only uses the data you feed it with,
exactly.
right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
if you're able to clean your data, make it structured in a way that any model can use it efficiently, then you would have that data for risk identification for projects of based on similar project that you've undertaken in the past, right? That's the value of AI. Instead of having someone trying to remember what lessons did we learn in the past
yeah,
10
yeah,
projects,
yeah. It's even, yeah, we have a limited
you
bandwidth.
know,
Yeah, exactly. And
you
how
have the
are
data.
these data? That, but the thing is, like when you implement or we do an AI transformation, how are these data are accessible easily in your industry, or they're hard to gather? Because that's also the key role you were saying with no data. We say it all the time: no data, no AI.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
are they easy, or is it very scattered in your industry?
It depends. Are we talking about internal data or external data?
Yeah.
There are a lot of companies selling, say, construction cost books, for example, right? And you could also have data in-house that you have to make sure that is structured,
Yeah.
clean for the AI to use. I'm a big proponent of a hybrid method. Like you have the in-house data, you have external data, and that you can compare that to, so that the AI there doesn't spit out whatever it wants. There's also AI hallucination at times,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's manageable. You can prevent that from happening. So you have the external data, you have the internal data, but you also know that there's human oversight. AI is not the decision maker, the project
No.
manager is.
To validate. Exactly. It's just here to make gain
That's
some time, but not to validate for you because you have the knowledge. We say that all the time. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I'm glad you
We
say it.
use you use AI for what it's good at. It's the gathering of the data, the collection of the data, and
Yeah, correct.
the data analysis, right? It's faster, better than human. You use it for that. The decision making is the PM's responsibility,
Yeah.
the executive's
Validate.
responsibility.
Yeah. On the top. Exactly. So we say
Yes, I
don't
see. To answer your question, yes, I see some companies that are at the forefront of the tech revolution. They are really embracing it, and others are stuck in the past. And the majority of the construction companies are stuck in the past. But there is hope, because there are companies out there that are really, really, really interested in harnessing the power of machine
Yeah.
learning data to transform the industry.
Yeah, and regarding the matching learning, that was one of the things. So you said it like on the risk. It's also you mainly also control your budget and all this. But what can you like? There's like the predictive analytics for you to prevent, a budget to overlap or to anticipate the delays. You said it, the budget overruns. How do you see like this extra step, I would say, in AI transformation in your industry, like with the predictive analytics? How do you see that?
Yeah. So predictive analytics can be useful in construction in both the budget and also the schedule. Um, and to take it a step further, you can also use that in safety, job site
Uh,
management, believe it or not. So again,
that's a big thing in your
it goes back to the data you're feeding the
Mm,
GPT or the model
yeah, or
that you're
the model
using.
or whatever.
So how I see predictive analytics uh, help the construction industry is in first, it starts with the identification of trends, right? You
Yeah,
have historical data, again, in-house data, external data.
excellent. Yeah,
You have the budget for any project in the construction industry. There is a baseline, whether it's the baseline schedule or the baseline budget. It's the tool that you can measure progress against, right? So at any given time, the AI will be able to give you real-time information about cost, labor cost, material cost, and uh, change orders, you name it. And because AI is so good at detecting trends and patterns, if there's any deviation that is exceedingly,
yeah,
high compared to the budgeted cost for that task or that assembly, the AI will flag it for you, right? And
yeah,
predict, okay, if we continue, if we approve that change order or too many change orders that are similar to this one, right? We're running the risk of, going over budget by 10%, 20%, the AI can predict that because that's what it does. It's better than human. We have to admit it.
Yeah. So
we
for you,
don't like to, but we have to.
no. Yeah. So
It's
the
better
main,
at predicting.
yeah, the main things you see to predict for you that's very important is the budget and also delay of the project, right? Anticipating a delay, you'll be able to trigger it,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
but I think it's related. If it's delayed, the cost, all this is related. That's
All
your
of that. Supply
driver. That's
chain
your driver. Yeah,
issues. Think
yeah.
about it.
Oh yeah.
Supply chain issues,
Mm,
right? You might have a project over here. I'm in Boston,
yeah,
Massachusetts,
yeah.
right? Um, but your material is coming from, say, Canada or Mexico, or
Not China. Not China.
sometimes, sometimes Italy. You're anywhere in the
Yeah,
world, right?
like ceramics and all that. Yeah, exactly.
Think about it. A strike breaks out somewhere where your material is coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, at some point, I believe
We have there's a lot of strikes
during
in France.
COVID,
Yeah.
in COVID, there was a truckers strike, right, in Canada,
Yeah.
and construction job sites were like they were just disrupted over here because people are waiting for materials and they can't get the materials they need to execute the job.
Yeah.
So AI would be able to predict for you, what materials would be delayed.
Yeah, it can be delayed or
and
regarding a
tell you
factor or a season or sometimes like yeah.
exactly.
You're right. Yeah,
Look at the trends in the market and predict, hey, okay, you're planning on starting that job next year, but the trends say that the materials are going to cost way more
yeah.
than what they cost now. What
Yeah,
are
you're
you
right.
going to
Even
do
like
about it?
yeah. I didn't think about it this way because I did a talk at a congress and I focused on global trade, and one of the thing and I was implementing the AI transformation canvas we've built that anyone can get on our website, but that's another story. It's because the focus was, yes, predicting the weather was very important in global trade.
It is.
The weather, the season that you can predict manually, but here and connect it to the real time data. So he's mixing that's relating what you were saying, external, internal. So mixing these
Yeah.
internal historical data of, like, for example, the weather, just to know, okay, I've ordered this, I don't know, this product that it will come from XYZ place with
Yeah.
the actual data of the actual weather. That's where the predictive analysis can come. Okay, you're at risk because regarding all that, maybe you'll be delayed a few days. So that's similar and related. Very, very interesting. I didn't see it. I like when you say external, internal, when you mix this kind of uh
Yeah.
of process, hybrid data
Yeah.
process. Very interesting. Yeah, and you can compare it
Yeah.
to any
'Cause
other industries. Yeah.
No, the reason why is because we're not building whatever the structure is in a bubble. We're building it in the real world.
Yeah.
And change is the only constant that is guaranteed in the real world. It's happen. You're gonna have to deal with change no matter what.
Yeah, all the time.
At any given time, you can be dealing with weather delays, strikes, geopolitical
Yeah.
issues,
Yeah. We
um,
see it
and
right
they
now, what's
all
happening.
are. Yeah, it can have repercussion on your project, right? Any delay will cost you, whether that means you're going to be paying fines for not completing the project on
I know
time,
you have.
or because it took you longer to complete the project, which that time you could use to do something else, move on to a different project, uh, and undertake, more business, satisfy another
Yeah.
client. There's always an opportunity cost to any decision, right? If you decide to wait and hope for the better and pray for divine intervention, it's all good. but it's not the most professional way of making decision.
Yeah.
And any decision in construction has a cost. I think about it. What are the opportunity costs for not embracing AI now?
That's a big that's a big question. That's what we're trying. Yeah, you have, because it's high. It's very high, because it goes
It's high.
the thing. Yeah, well, the thing was different was you were saying, like, you were comparing before to, I always compare it to, like, we had like the agriculture revolution, we had the industrial revolution, we had like even the internet digital revolution. Now we're on the AI revolution. But for me, I didn't live all these revolution. Like agriculture, I was too I was not born, I think. I hope. But I mean now the big thing that's totally different is that it goes so fast. It goes very
Yeah,
fast.
yeah,
Even the
yeah,
models, the updates, everything goes so fast. So if you don't embrace it right now, your risk, like any company, SME, any industry, yeah, the risks are high. The risks are high, not
yeah,
embracing it.
exactly.
Yeah.
If you think about it uh, within the context of just one project, it might not be that significant. But think about the time saved by each one of the team members, or each one of that
Yeah.
project, or each one of your employees over the course of a year, over the course of 10 years.
Yeah.
Big picture wise, it's a big cost.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
You agree? You would agree
No,
with me,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, I agree. I even had the talk with a friend recently. He was also saying, like, even like the retirement plans. If you anticipate the AI on doing some tasks, we're not replacing, because there will be. I truly believe it's just innovation we're in right now. So there will be new jobs. Us as human beings will be more creative. So we'll use our skills differently. It will not lose jobs. Maybe now some people it's hard or to have it in mind, but he was saying, like, even people, if I he was saying, if he anticipated in his company like the retirement plans using AI, maybe some he will be able to hire different task force, even instead of maybe tasks that was done by people before, that was like very kind of like not boring but very repetitive. If you anticipate,
Yeah,
he will let these people just finish their career, have AI do these kind of tasks, and maybe hire more innovative jobs for more exciting things a human being can do. So if you
yeah,
anticipate, it's a long plan anticipation. Yeah, yeah, totally on the
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
here's
that's
how I see it. It's just like, tell me you're not willing to provide better service to your client without telling me. That's what not embracing AI uh, means. I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
want to
totally.
deliver a better product to my clients. I don't want to save time and money. And I don't
No,
want to
why
make
would we do that?
I don't want to make my employees' lives
Why?
better.
No,
You know
no,
what
we
I
want
mean?
them to be
It's
sad
like,
bored.
tell me you don't want better results without telling me.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Totally right. Regarding that, I had a question in mind, since because you mentioned it before. It's about, like, since, yeah, you have a lot of stakeholders. There's also in construction little, like, the frontliners with the safety. You were saying, like, the job site safety. I don't see it. Maybe you'll be able to reply to me. How can, like, yeah, we can use the technology here for the safety of the frontliners, construction people. How can you, is there a way, because, like, maybe hybrid, like human AI can anticipate local incidents or accidents, I would say, or to save
Yeah,
lives, I think,
uh,
even in construction.
yeah. The fatalities in the construction industry, it's staggering numbers. You
Wow.
wouldn't believe that in 2023 there were 1,075 fatalities in the industry.
Wow.
That's that's 20% of all workplace deaths in the US. They happen in construction.
They have it in, oh, okay, yeah.
In construction. Uh,
Yes.
and in construction, fatalities happen in different ways. They are what OSHA calls the big four. Uh, but the big four, it's either someone falls, someone is electrocuted, someone is caught in between, or a trench. They're digging a trench and the soil caves in and kills someone, right? We have technologies in cars now that can assist you when driving, so you don't depart the lane, right?
Yeah.
You have self-driving cars,
Totally.
right? We also have wearables that allow
Ah.
us to, like, you can put a geofence around on your kid's phone
Yeah.
and say, if they move a mile away from the house, send me a text message. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Why not do that in construction to save lives? Like, sensors could be installed on the
Yeah.
heavy equipment, and the construction worker has something that wears a bracelet, a necklace, whatever, and the machine detects
Yeah. That's
that there's a human being too close, and I need to
I get
alert
it.
the operator about
And
that,
do you
right?
see like these technologies like coming or emerging or not at all yet?
They
Or
are
are they?
there are some companies, yeah, that have already
Okay.
introduced things like that
Yeah, because you were
to save
comparing to
lives.
yeah, you were comparing to self-driving cars because I know when you're self-driving, not to name like whatever Tesla or whatever car, but
Yeah,
the
yeah,
self-driving it imposed you. I mentioned I was in for the CS in Vegas like at the beginning of the year, and we were taking a Uber, and the guy was totally self-driving, and I didn't see I knew it was self-driving, but totally without touching anything, and what it was doing, it was he had to just focus on the road. He could not sleep or bend down, whatever.
yeah.
So the camera was predicting like where if he's going to sleep or whatever, it will alarm, and then the human being will have to take the hand on it. I
Take
was thinking maybe
control.
in
Yeah,
in the construction it can be like as you were saying if it's monitoring the worker. I don't know his heart rate, his if he's getting tired or doing something, he can say he can trigger and say stop. Like another thing that if you continue working like that in like 20 minutes, you're high risk at having an accident. It can also we
yeah,
were talking about the weather, but it's also related to the heat, to the cold, whatever. Like if you can predict all that, okay, today it's like over 100 like degrees. You're at high risk. Like here's your heart rate, whatever, and pretend like you
that's
need a
right.
pause right now because you're going to
Yeah,
be an accident like with a tool or fall down or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah,
Heat
that's a
strokes
huge
happen all the time.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think like the predictive analysis with AI regarding all these factors can be, yeah, that's something. Oh, very interesting. Like, you want to open a startup right now, Peterson?
I mean, if you want to help me get to a
Let's do it.
minimum
We're all very
viable
excited.
product, get get me to a minimum viable business in 15 days.
We will. We will. No, man, no, it's so exciting. We're talking about saving lives, so
Absolutely, that's
it's-
really important. Think about the impact that a company like that can make on the construction industry in the US, worldwide, or in a region. Let's say, for example, in the Americas, right? Overall, there are 5,000 people, um, who died like last year, right? And a
yeah,
company can prevent 60% of these deaths. That's that's a
yeah.
that's a huge contribution, right?
A huge. Yeah, the impact is huge. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So why not embrace that?
Yeah, no, like it's that's we're putting a project appeal or whatever. Like everybody that we need to work on that. People need or you
Yeah,
need Peterson. We'll do it to work on it. And yeah, regarding like we were talking like more human lives and all that. But how do you see like
yeah,
also like ethically talking like the AI and because there's some industry that are very sensitive to that, like the health industry. We talked about it
yeah.
during our lives you in like in construction how this like ethical consideration and human centered consideration with AI driven project how is it sensible in your industry?
Yeah. Again, it goes back to trust. I don't think people are not willing to trust the AI. They're not trusting the human being creating the AI, and
Yeah,
that's really
unfortunately.
key. Because if the AI is biased, someone like whoever was creating it was also biased. Um, that's where oversight, human oversight, comes to play. It's really important to have human oversight, and also uh, you can create an AI agent that is supervised by another AI agent, and that other AI
Yeah.
agent is supervised by a human being. Again, it's key to take the proper measure, and you know, we're not gonna dig too deep into the technical aspect of how to implement uh, you know
Yeah, all the
the
flow or
exactly
the agent.
to prevent AI to be biased. But it goes back to the data. What kind of data are you feeding the model, right? Uh, Ethically speaking, you have to make sure that the AI is not the decision maker. That's one of the primary things that I would ask any company to focus on. Make sure that the AI is not the decision maker. One, the PM, the senior project manager, the executive is the person who has the power to decide which course of action to take. Also, feed your AI with diverse sources of data. Uh, think about it. You can tell the AI, here's a list of my employees, right? Their skills, their
Yeah.
aspirations, their goals, and here's a list of projects that we have, the technical requirements for the project, what are the skills needed, and here's the availability of each one of the team members. Find me the person who is most suited for this task, for that job.
Yeah, we're
The
saying
AI can do that,
hmm
right?
yeah, exactly.
Again, as I said, it goes back to the data you're feeding the AI.
Yeah, totally all the time. So if you feed it with bad things, you're right. It's ethical with it. It's yeah. I like your point of views because they're like, yeah, different, not different, but it doesn't it gives a different perspective on the thing. You're right because
Yeah,
now we're
yeah,
talking about more and more, especially in companies in specific industry. We're not talking about using the open models. We're
yeah,
talking about using the own data of the company. That's where AI can go to a next level for
yeah,
companies.
yeah,
And
yeah.
but it depends on
Trans
all how you yeah, and what how you feed them and with what will you feed them. Yeah,
Also, transparency is very important.
yeah,
Get the team members involved.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
like
Who's
they are
involved?
in the trenches. Yes, they are in the trenches. They know what's going on. And if you are transitioning to adopting AI in your company and you're not involving your team members, that's a big mistake. The chances are that you are going to feed the model with what's not going to be useful to the team. Uh, I'm not saying that it's 100% certain that this is
Yeah,
going to happen, but it could happen, right? Because if the data is not structured and you are fitting the model of what you think is best based on your experience only, then
yeah,
that's where there's a possibility for the AI to become biased, right? Because it's
yeah, yeah.
just one person feeding it with whatever they think
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what in the
enough.
organization when you put like different agents, one of them is responsible or multiple. But you're right, we must put layers to be careful because if it's under a responsibility of one human, what will he put inside? Or even if it's
Yeah.
not just ethical, or maybe it's outdated, because that's what's,
Yeah.
there's always new data coming in. So if it's outdated, it will be biased. So it's a little bit less ethical,
Yeah.
but like doing bad things on it, it can happen too. Yeah, it
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
happen too.
Yeah.
Like to bias the decision, or the you in your case, like the timeline of the project. It's very not easy to do, but yeah, the responsibility on who puts what. It's, yeah, it's ethical. You're right. You're right. You're right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And okay, and there's we're almost at the, yeah, wrapping up, and at the end, it was, I always like to finish, and I want to know that part. What's the, for you, like, if you like as a global vision, what's the next generation of project manager will look like now with AI? Do you have, like, I want, like, you can be free on letting it go on how you see that.
Well, get ready. AI is here to stay. And if you're worried that AI is going to replace you, think again.
Yeah.
AI might not replace you, but someone who knows AI most certainly will. So what I am doing as an APM, a project manager, is to get all the education that I can get around AI. And that's what I would recommend to anyone in the industry. Prepare yourself, get trained. Don't get stuck in the past. Don't stay stuck in the past.
Yeah. Move forward.
It's happening so fast that if you don't start now, you're gonna have to play catch up at a head spinning pace in the future. Would you
Yeah.
rather do that, start now, than having to do that in the future? More importantly, than the technical skills that you need, you're going to need the soft skills, like the leadership skills, the communication skills, and being able to deal with people in the future. So start now. And believe it or not, we're going to get to a point, and what I'm saying is very serious. I'm not trying to predict the future or anything, but we know that the technology is already there. A
Yeah.
robot can now install drywall, right?
Yeah.
So the project manager of the future is going to have a team that is composed of human being,
And
AI agents, and robots.
robots. Yeah. We see that in the security field and in a lot of fields. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So get prepared.
Get ready for it.
Get ready. If they're like the final word, all PM,
Yeah,
all future PM, get ready for it. So start to learn what's trending. Wow, great.
exactly. Yeah.
Thanks, Peterson. Was very loved it. It was very insightful. Mohammed was missing, but I hope you'll watch the replay if he's not behind. But it was very insightful. Learned a lot about your industry, how it could help, like your vision, and also how it can scale. And also you had like different perspective that was very insightful. So thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Peterson. Hope like this your
Yeah.
industry will grow step by step, and implement more and more AI to wait for this new era. Thanks a lot,
Thank
Peterson.
you.
Thanks for all the audience. If you need, you can still leave comments anywhere. We'll be able to reply or reach out to us
Yeah.
for anything.
Well,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Thank you,
Thank you for
thank you,
having me.
thank
It
you,
was my
Peterson.
pleasure.
Yeah, my
Thank you.
pleasure. Have a good one.